Alright, let's talk about how to structure a high converting VSL landing page, because if you're a B2B founder, coach, consultant, or agency owner running traffic and trying to book more calls, the landing page is the bottleneck. Not because the offer is bad, but because landing page is the bridge between your offer and the sales. And if your page structure doesn't guide the visitor through the right conversion journey, it means no sales. So take it from this client I helped in January. She doesn't have a landing page, so I designed one for her, and she almost got 2 booked calls from it, with the second one saying, "This landing page is so good, I almost booked the call." So if you want this similar result for your landing page, in this video I'm going to walk through the exact structure, how I would design the VSL landing page that would convert cold traffic into qualified sales calls. So let's go into it. So the first section of the landing page is the hero section, and I will be tackling it from 2 angles for this section. So the first one is the conversion driven headlines and the copy itself, and the second one is the VSL, meaning video sales letter. The hero section is very important. It's because this is where most of your leads will be converted. If you have a really good hero section of the website or the landing page, it usually means that more people will sign up for the application, because it speaks to the pain point, it speaks to the desired points, or the ideal circumstance that they want to have for their business. A really good hero section means that most of the prospect wouldn't need to scroll down. That's why if you look at some VSL landing page on the internet, it's just the video and headline, and that's it. There's no other stuff on it. So let's do the first angle, which is the headlines and the copy. So for cold traffic, your headline must be cold traffic optimized, meaning that it has to be in a certain way, and that's how you convert the people who don't know you to being your client. A good headline immediately communicates who is it for, the outcome in the exact time frame, and the mechanism benefits that you will gain from this mechanism. So, for example, instead of saying something generic like "I help scale your business faster," a stronger headline will be like "Add $50,000 in revenue in 90 days with call in your system," or "Add 5 new clients to your pipeline in 90 days," or "LinkedIn with its Taurus outbound system." With this type of headline, your ICP knows that they are in the right place. And the second angle is the VSL video, meaning video sales network. So your VSL should be clean, branded, and focused on explaining the offer and the mechanism. This isn't about fancy editing or some motion graphic that you see on some of the VSLs. It's mostly about clarity. The video should walk through about the problem that your market is facing, why the current approach isn't working, and the mechanism behind your solution, and why your solution is the most better choice or logical choice among other solutions out there on the market. One mistake that I see is most people try to sell to earn in the video, when you should be educating and framing the problem. Because when people understand the problem properly, the solution becomes much more obvious. So now we move on to the pain and solution section of the landing page, because not everyone will be converted on the video, and so the idea is you need some visual section to highlight the key messages of your VSL. So usually this looks like a set of simple cards or bullet points that highlights the frustration that your audience is experiencing while these problems happens, and the new problems or new way of solving them. For example, founders often think their problem is lead generation, so how to get new leads. But the real issue is a broken acquisition system. So instead of saying you want ads so you get new leads, you show them how the system works, overall system. So this could be like traffic, then it will be to then the traffic will go to your VSL, and then the VSL go to qualification, and then from the qualification it go to sales calls. And so when you explain the system, it helps the visitors on the landing page to understand how the pieces comes together. Once they are convinced, then that's where the purchase decisions will happen. But for that to happen, you need to make them understand why they need your system, or everything just crumbles and it just doesn't work, and you get no sales, and then you just continue to struggle even more unnecessarily. So now the next section of your landing page is the social proof. Okay, so now this isn't really the next section because ideally you should be putting them all over your page, right? So you should have testimonial cards just right after the hero section, and then some again at the bottom of the page, and then some on the middle of the page. So it should be everywhere. This isn't one dedicated section for that part. For that part. Um, but I would say for this part, what what would be more important is if you have case studies. So if you have like a document of how you helped your ICP, your customer, to generate this much revenue with your system, then yes, this should be the section to include what you did, the outcome that you get for them, and the testimonial of the entire thing, right? And the reason why you need to have social proof on your landing page is because now you're in the economy of where there's no trust. People are becoming more skeptical online, and you need to show evidence that your system works, or that you are credible, and that you are legitimate agency, consultant, coach, whatever, right? So you want to show evidence of the results, case studies, screenshots, testimonials, and client outcomes, and even simple proofs like booked calls, revenue generated, or client feedback can dramatically increase conversions because it answers the questions everyone is subconsciously asking. Has this worked for someone like me? And the quicker and easier and relatable you can show that proof to people, it's where your sales will happen to increase. Okay, so now we move on to the next section of the landing page. Well, this isn't really a section, it's the call to action button, because one of the big mistakes that I see on most VSLs is a call to action button is when you click on them, it goes to a Calendly site or to some book hosting site where you book the call for the date and the time for the call to happen. And this is a big mistake that most people do because not every prospect will be qualified for your offer, and you'll be wasting so much time talking to people that don't really qualify, right? The call to action button should be a type form application, and that should be on everywhere of your page. Because what it does is once you give the responses to the application questions, the system will judge whether your response shows that you're fit or it doesn't show you're fit. So, and the ones that do fit with your offer, they'll be showing a website to book the call. But if they are not a fit for your offer, then what will happen is it's two ways. You can either direct them to a lower ticket offer, or you can give them a free buy resource, and that's number one. Or number two, you can just flat up, straight up saying, sorry, you don't qualify for this offer, and then you just leave it at that. So you have two options. You can either send them to a lower ticket offer or a free buy resource, or you can just say, get the hell out of here. I don't want you," in a nice way, of course. And this is more important for high ticket offers. It should be used in type form because it allows to quantify the needs based on the responses that they give. And so, yeah, this just basically filters out low intent needs and help to ensure that the course you do take is actually worth your time. But this is up to you, if you want to have a type form or just have them straight up to your booking calendar, it's up to you. I just want to bring it up, and you can choose how you want to approach with your call to action button. So now we move on to the next section of the landing page, and this is the FAQ section, other known as frequently asked questions. This is where you break down objections and answer people's questions. And this is the most underrated section on the landing page, and I don't know why most VSR landing pages don't have it. Firstly, it helps to remove objections. So if there's questions like how this different from other people, or another question is what if I don't have a large audience, or another question might be, how long does it take to see results? And so by answering these questions, it helps to break down objections that have tools to offer and be more inclined to buy. And secondly, it helps to introduce more social proof and clarity, because in your FAQ answers, you can mention the results from past clients, typical timelines, or how the system works in practice, and especially results from past clients, because if you can show them that you are the person that has helped you in a similar position, then they will trust you with their business. So again, think FAQ like a place where you can close the sale. And then this is the last section of the landing page. It isn't a section, but it's a tip. The tip is a clean and professional looking overall landing page design. And this is a point that I had to bring up because it's 2026 now. No one wants to buy from sites that looks very scammy and has that sketchy look to it. So a good landing page should feel clean, professional, structured, and easy to skim with, because like for some people they don't read the landing page, they just scroll really fast. So you need to have like a big visual element on it that conveys the same message that you're trying to convey in your written copy of the page. How do you have a clean professional design? Well, simply you need to have a clear spacing, strong typography, simple sections, and some nice color branding that feels legitimate, because before people trust an offer, they first need to trust the page itself. So to recap, a high converting VSL landing page usually includes a conversion driven headline and copy, a clean video explain the mechanism, a pain and solution section, a tons of social proofs onto the page, and a qualified call to action button like a type form application, and overall a clean and a professional design of the page. And when these pieces work together, the page becomes more than just a landing page, it is a conversion system. And if you want help building a complete customer acquisition system using VSL funnels and meta ads to generate qualified leads, you can book a call with me at fahimfunnels.com, or just DM me on Twitter, and we'll see how you can go from there. Both links are in the video description. Thank you for watching.